What's up, everybody? Titans328 back with some more God of War Ascension. We're getting the next time to use the Stairs Trophy. In order to get this trophy, you must complete the Gauntlet of Archimedes. Now, doing this on hard especially will take some patience and will take some good timing on your part. Now, it took me about 2 hours in order to do this on hard, so be ready to get frustrated and for this to take a while. Especially if you're doing it on hard. I can't imagine doing this on Titan difficulty, so good luck to anybody who's doing that. First thing I did was I summoned my Oath Stone and froze them. Figured I'd do that right away, but be ready for the attacks here. You can parry these attacks, you can block the Gorgon attacks, and doing that you'll be able to freeze your enemies, all the enemies on the field, if you are able to stun the Gorgon. And I was able to kill one of the first two Gorgons right away there by just getting it stunned and stoning it. Right there, another parry and another stun, able to stone that one even though it doesn't look like it's stone, but I guess it is. Also, word of advice, use your items as much as possible because they are so valuable. In the first area, try to avoid using magic as much as possible, but getting the brutal kill on the Gorgons restores an entire thing of magic, so I would use only as much magic as you can replenish that is on the field at the time. So, if you know what I'm saying, only use as much magic as you can get back here on the first stage, because you're going to need it in the second stage. Using magic in the second stage really helps. And if this comforts anybody, the first stage is definitely the hardest if you do not know what you're doing. If you do know what you're doing, it's actually not too difficult. The second stage with the Amazons is a lot harder, but here's the quick time event, well, not even quick time event, the buttonless minigame they call it in this game, against the Gorgon. By doing this, you get an entire thing of magic back, plus you get some experience, but I already had fully upgraded at this point, so experience was not my main concern. Right when you come out of there, I'd use the amulet because you can freeze it and it'll most likely have the amulet ready there. But as soon as these, what are they called, sirens come out, I would use Hades magic and try and do it near the edge, because you can ring out the sirens pretty easily if you get them caught up and near the edge. Which, if you saw there, I ringed out one of them. And if you keep watching, I think I ring out one, if not two more of them. And I think I actually only brutally kill one of them. But the Gorgons aren't that difficult. You can parry and counter most of their stuff. But here I'm using the Hades magic again, and I think I get a ring out. Yeah, I got a ring out right there. And then, if I didn't say this, I don't think I did, there are 4 total Gorgons and 4 total Sirens. You get 2 Gorgons right away, and then once you kill one of the Gorgons, another one pops up. And then once you kill another one of the Gorgons, the rest of the Gorgons pop up and 2 Sirens pop up. And you can see right now I'm just kind of blocking and waiting to parry. Worked out pretty well there, able to stun and stone that one, and it's actually stone on the ground, which is kind of funny. But yeah, I'd only use Hades magic here. Zeus's magic could also knock them out, because with the sirens I would just go for ring outs and that's about it. Also, the Oath Stone is actually pretty good for ringing out the sirens as well. If they get by the edge with them, they can pound them out. But another buttonless minigame with the Gorgon. Always, 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 always try and get the brutal kill if it's available against an enemy, because they'll give you valuable stuff. The Gorgons and the Sirens give you magic. In the next stage, the Amazons give you health, which is exceedingly valuable at this point. And I was able to get the brutal kill against the Siren here, which is nice. So we got about half health and full magic after the first stage, which is pretty good, considering most people think that the first stage is the hardest. I tend to agree, especially if you have full magic going into the second stage. If you have full magic going into the second stage, it is pretty easy, in fact, because you can spam magic once the group of enemies come at you, and you can just pound them out pretty well. But there are 2 Amazons, and there are Harpies that spawn a lot. What I did here right away is summon the Oath Stone and use the amulet right away. And I think when I used the Oath Stone there right away, it actually ringed out one of the Amazons, which is very good, because these Amazons are probably one of the hardest things to do here, just because it's such a narrow corridor here. It's hard to avoid them, and they're really fast. So I'm just spamming magic here, trying to get the Amazons as far down as possible. You could probably use either Hades or Zeus's magic here, Poseidon's, if you're good with some combos and can avoid the Amazon might be good, but I would just stick with the magic that can really hurt. So I was, I believe, trying to block the Amazon's attack there and just trying to parry it, but right here when the Amazon gets onto the Harpy, you gotta watch out, because she'll just keep chucking shit at you, and it just is not good for you. But once a Harpy attaches to you, it's actually not the worst thing. You'll get some damage, but you can just insta-kill it right away. So I'm just going to spam some more magic here against the Amazon, try and get that killed. Amazon, easily the toughest thing here. The Harpies are just a nuisance, really. And the Amazon died there without me being able to get health from it, which I was slightly pissed off about, but I was able to make it through, so I guess it wasn't the worst thing ever. A Harpy will pop up after it goes to the third, like right when it goes to the third fire mouth. So there it is. I immediately grab it because I know it's coming. And strategy here is just attack the Harpy. I grapple a lot with the Harpies because it's easy to kill them that way, and just avoid the flame as much as possible. And when the lightning guy comes out, I don't know exactly what you want to call him, the lightning statue, I guess, use the Oath Stone as much as possible on the lightning guy and just kind of avoid him. Just to avoid him as much as possible. You're going to have to go around him at some point so that you can escape the fire, but just avoid him as much as possible. When he's glowing yellow like that, you cannot attack him. And I think you might be able to actually roll dodge through the flames, because I just did it there. I'm not quite sure if you can, or if I just got lucky that I didn't take any damage, but you might be able to roll stone through it. If you are able to use the amulet against the lightning guy, I would also attack him then, because you can get some good damage against him then, and he can't attack you at all. But you can also parry him like I just did there. You can parry his attacks that he does. You can also block them, but that's a little risky because he can do some good damage, and if you miss the parry, it's a little risky. So I'd use the Oath Stone as much as possible. So on to round 3. Round 3 is what people said the easiest, which is, it's the last one, but it's the easiest. I had some troubles with the wraiths, but first there's a centaur, just one centaur. But the difficult thing about this area is that the walls are covered with spikes, or at least on the side. You can't run into the sides because they're covered with spikes. But I use the Oath Stone and the amulet right away, as I always do, and just try to attack the centaur as much as possible. You can block and parry the centaur, and just be ready for QTE events whenever he charges, and you can get some good damage on him then. I still have a thing of magic there, and I wouldn't use it yet. I'd probably wait for the race, but if you brutally kill the centaur, you will get magic back as well. So that is nice, and I think it gets me about half, if not a little bit over half from what I have here. And the centaur doesn't touch me at all during this entire thing, so I did a pretty good job against him. But not too difficult to beat the centaur. You just got to do the QTE events here. There are 4 of them. Be sure you hit them all, otherwise you will take damage. And I think it might just be each one of the buttons. It might be a different order, but I think it's just one of each of the buttons. But rip open his intestines. And on to the last stage, 3 wraiths. Now, I didn't think this was going to be very difficult because wraiths aren't the toughest thing, but maybe my troubles with this came when the wraiths were in the ground and I couldn't pull them out. Maybe it was because I was using the Hades blades, and if I used a different thing of blades, but I just pulled them out there with the Hades blades, so I have no idea what the problem was. You'll see in a little bit what I'm talking about right now. But I just had a lot of troubles getting the wraiths out of the ground, and they were fucking me up pretty good. But see, right there, I can't pull them out of the ground, and I don't know why, and it's gonna piss me off here. But I'd take out the wraiths that are above ground if you're having this problem too. I don't know, use the amulet, be careful of the walls like I said, and I don't know what the best blades are here. Probably the Zeus blades, that's my guess, but I was able to kill the first wraith. Another one spawns after you kill the first one. So these are the last two enemies that you have to face for this gauntlet, and I have half health right now. So I should be looking pretty good, right? Well, we'll see how that works out, but use the amulet, use the oath stone, just like always. Do good damage with that. And I also use the eyes of truth if you can. I didn't really use them that much. I mean, they're not the best thing, but they will stun pretty well, and they also recharge pretty quickly. So if you want to knock your enemy back, and if you stun the wraiths, they will give you enough for a full bar of magic. So that's something. Well, not a full bar. One magic attack is what I mean. But I'm trying to figure out what the hell to do here because I can't pull them out. Like I said, maybe it's because I was using the wrong magic blades. I don't know. Maybe if I would have switched, I would have been able to pull them out right away. But I was able to pull that one out, so I have no idea what the hell the problem was. So it was just a bit frustrating for me here, and I knew these were the last two because I'd gotten this far before and failed, but now we got one enemy left, so it should be easy, right? Well, I have problems with it because I'm trying to figure out, well, if he jumps and I parry, can I hit him then, or if I stun him or what? But you can pretty much block all their attacks, the race attacks. So be ready for blocking, and you know, just do a better job than I did here against the Wraiths, because the Wraiths fucked me up pretty well. I'm just doing different things. I tried to parry there. Apparently I can't parry it either. But finally the Wraith comes up and I'm like, oh yes, fuck him up. Fuck him up right now. Kill this dude. Because if he goes back in the ground, I'm screwed. I got a sliver of health left. I'm like, yes, let's use my items right now and kill this guy. But he goes back underground. Luckily the Oath Stone pulls him out with a stomp, and I'm like, oh my god, I did it! I did it! So I just defeated the Gauntlet of Archimedes to finish it off and get the trophy. Use the Eyes of Truth again to unlock that little grip. You will go all the way up to the top, and the place where the Eyes of Truth are will spawn. You'll see that little door there where you gotta use the Eyes of Truth, and pop goes the trophy. Next time use the stairs. Whew! So let's take a look at that in the trophy guide. Complete the Gauntlet of Archimedes. So that is all for this video, so thank you guys for watching. I will see you guys next time.